What's up, my friends in film fandom? The sabbatical is over. Time to get back to tearing up this YouTube stuff, letting you guys know what we think about movies and all kinds of other shit going on in the world of entertainment. Wherever you may be, however you may be listening, thank you so much for giving us a little bit of your time. See, this is what happens after I take a little bit of time off and I get my sea legs back. I kind of forget my whole thing, my whole gig. But yeah, that's all right. We'll get it back. Hopefully, by the time we do the next review, which will be Tuesday, then I'll have my shit back together and the wiring of my brain will once again be accurate. No review today, but we are going to take a minute to remember the career of the now late and great Robert Duvall. Here to do that with me, of course, is my hetero life mate Jeremy. What's up, brother?
I'm glad to be back, I guess. I'd hate to say maybe back for even just a minute. Life is lifing, so that's kind of part of the reason why we weren't here. So I won't get into it too much, but I mean, I'll try to stick around. I mean, like we were talking about beforehand, you know, movies are an escapism. It's something to take your mind off of stuff. So we got some new stuff coming out this weekend, I think, like you mentioned. So you know, there's stuff to sink our teeth into and get back into the groove. So that'll be a good thing. And I like that this is a way to ease back into it. Talking about a guy who, you know, who's been, like I said, been in the game for decades. I'm sure it's gonna be hard to nail down just a couple things, but I'm sure we'll talk about, you know, some of the greatest hits, as they say. I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. A quick programming note: the reason why Tex is not with us today to do this is because he is currently seeing Scream 7. He had tickets to see it tonight, and I am happy to say that he's going to be sending me a quick out of the theater review that I will put up on the channel at some point in the next 24 hours or so. So you will have his initial thoughts. You know, I've been reading some stuff on Twitter, but I'm gonna reserve judgment. I'm gonna judge the film on its merits, and I'm gonna go see it this weekend. I'm sure Jeremy probably will as well, and then we'll give you our review on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, I'm actually going to be joining American Werewolf over on his channel, so make sure you go subscribe to him as well. He's going to be doing a review of Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? He's getting into the Coen Brothers movies. So I'm going to go over there and join him on Wednesday, and then Thursday we'll do something else. We'll see then. But yeah, let's get right down to the nitty gritty. We are obviously here to remember a great actor, Robert Duvall, who passed away at the age of 95 just about a week ago. I know we're a little behind the times getting here to talk about him, but you know, I didn't want to interrupt the break for anything this serious. I want to make sure we have some time to breathe and not YouTube for a while. But it cannot be understated the impact that this man's career has had on all of film. All of film. I mean, the guy has been in some of the most influential films that have been made over the last probably 40 or 50 years. Oscar nominee several times, won for Tender Mercies. Yeah, Jeremy, give me some of your quick thoughts on the life and career of Robert Duvall.
Yeah, like I said, where do you even begin? He's been in some big hits that I'm sure, even if you're just you know a normal kind of moviegoer, you heard of these movies, you know of them, like movies like The Godfather, for one. I mean, I mean, like that's probably the big one that most people probably, even if you're not into movies, you know what it is. Stuff like Days of Thunder. We reviewed Falling Down sometime late last year, I believe. Yeah, Falling Down. I was thinking of one that I need to watch again. I watched it in school. John Q, with him and Denzel. That's where he's like the lieutenant who comes to respond to the chaos that Denzel was causing. If you know, you know. Go watch that movie. It's a good movie. And of course, like to my favorite, which is Open Range, which also is obviously where I got my my quote from tonight. Man, and even as far back, like I completely forgot. And I'm glad you showed that picture of him in To Kill a Mockingbird, and he was Boo Radley. I did not know that. I see it now. I mean, like, I think I watched this in school as well because we'd read the book in school and then, you know, watched the movie, of course. And I don't think I was quite as, like, you know, connecting the dots of like, oh, that actor's in this, or I've seen him in this. And like, damn, like, unmistakable face. I see it now. Obviously, I could have pointed that out, but I didn't even realize that then. To say this guy has had a pretty storied career is, you know, it's almost an understatement. Like, Jesus, man. And to be 95, I mean, just in general, holy crap. Yeah, that's a hell of a life. So thank you for giving us all the stories you have over the decades you've been in the game. And there's plenty to choose from, I think is the cool thing.
Yeah, he very much was a true artist. I mean, he was, one of the reasons that I really love, and I'll talk about this movie a lot more, and eventually I want to review it. This movie, The Apostle, that he did back in the late '90s. He wrote it, directed it, started it, and funded the movie out of his own money. It was a passion project of his, and all he got for it was an Oscar nomination because it was so good. And there are so many great performances. It was one of Farrah Fawcett's last couple of films before she passed away. So many different kinds of roles. It was like, so, he plays, obviously the one that most people remember, that great quote, "I love the smell of napalm in the morning." That's one thing.
Napalm in the morning.
But then it's like The Godfather, and then it's like, The Judge, which I haven't seen yet. I haven't gotten around to watching it, but the last several years I've been hearing people say that movie's better than it gets credit for. Secondhand Lions, which is a movie that I absolutely adore. I think that movie is fantastic. The Godfather, being in the two great Godfather movies, like you said, we just did Falling Down, which is a fantastic movie. I'm sitting here looking through this list of movies, and I'm like, did he ever make one that wasn't amazing? It's like it's I mean, some of the stuff, it's like, I'm gonna get this list again. Let's see, Days of Thunder, Newsies, Falling Down, let's see, The Paper, Phenomenon. Something to talk about. See, he had a role in Sling Blade. He was an astronaut in Deep Impact. You remember that?
That's right.
I mean, Gone in 60 Seconds, he was in one of the Bruckheimer, one of the fun Bruckheimer films. The Sixth Day, John Q. He was a trail boss at Open Range. Secondhand Lions, which I still think is a fantastic movie. Kicking and Screaming, he did comedy well too. We Own the Night, Four Christmases. I mean, I go down this list and I'm like, good God, how did he only have? I think he had 5 nominations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nominations and 1 win. I don't understand that. Well, I just don't understand that. He got nominated for Best Supporting Actor for The Godfather. He got nominated. Best Supporting Actor in Apocalypse Now got nominated. Got nominated for Best Lead Actor in The Great Santini. Won the Best Actor for Tender Mercies in 1983, and they got nominated as leading actor for The Apostle in 97, supporting actor in The Civil Action in 98, and then again for supporting actor in The Judge for 2014, and won 1. It seems, I feel like every movie this guy was ever in, he could have gotten nominated for. There's a way that some people have on screen in front of the camera. It conveys something truly special. And I think that he was just of that generation where, I talk about it all the time. If you go way back into the early days of movies up till you get to like the 80s, you didn't have the special effects to lean on. You had to have good dialogue and great acting. You had to make good films. And he was in so many of them. And while he was certainly in a movie that took advantage of some special effects, the one I talked about with the meteor and all that. I mean, sure, he was in it, but it's like Deep Impact. He just does something different on camera. It's insane. He also appeared in the Netflix film Hustle with Adam Sandler, The Pale Blue Eye with Christian Bale. Those would be his 2 final film roles in 2022. Not to mention he appeared in Steve McQueen's directed Widows as a corrupt power broker in 2018. Just, I mean, like I said, you can't watch a single role that he was in and not be blown away at just how good he is. Insane. Of course, he has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. That's no secret. Yeah. But he did a little bit of television work too. He's in Alfred Hitchcock Presents. He did the Untouchables TV show back in the late 50s, early 60s. Route 66, Twilight Zone, The Outer Limits, the old Fugitive TV show from back in the 60s. The Wild Wild West TV show, Mod Squad. I mean, yeah, so obviously some pretty good television shows he was attached to as well. But even if it was just for an episode or so, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, he was in that. that ran from 64 to 68. Great sci-fi series. So, yeah, again, it's like we talk a lot about the people when they pass away, these great actors, about their resume, and we look at it and we're like, Jesus, it's like just hit after hit after hit after hit. In his case, maybe some of the movies weren't great hits, but it's like performance better than so many people, stealing so many of them. It's difficult not to feel like you've had something taken from you when you hear about his passing. Jeremy, I mean, give me a movie to talk about of his for a second. Some of your thoughts on it.
Well, let me go back. Goddamn. See, I'm not on my game tonight either. Jesus, I'm trying. I'm like, where are the buttons?
We've had a couple weeks off. We got, like I said, we got to get our sea legs back, man.
No, gotta get him back on there. I would have started with this. Like I said, my favorite movie probably of his. Well, not of his. I mean, this is obviously Kevin Costner's movie, but performance-wise, I've always loved Open Range. Pretty sure this is one of my dad's favorite movies. One of my mom's favorite movies too. She's in the chat. Hello, Mom. Because they're into westerns, and obviously this is like a newer-ish western. It was like 2003, but I don't know. I love this dynamic that he has with Costner. Like it kind of he's the older, wise ranch hand guy, not ranch hand, but they graze cattle, and then bouncing off of Kevin Costner being kind of the younger guy. They've been riding together for like 10 years doing their cattle business, right? And of course they get in a spot of trouble in town with friggin' Dumbledore. God damn it, Michael Gambon. That's like, yeah, Dumbledore, that guy. You can point him out from other movies. They tussle into it with another ranch guy who's kind of got a hold on this town, and they're in it because these guys killed their younger friend, other ranch hands, and they killed their dog. So I mean that you already earned a bullet in the back of the head, So for that, I think the day that I'd heard he passed away. This movie never gets old. It's got one of the coolest gunfights at the end. I mean, draw now, but it's like one of those it slow burns, builds up to that, and it just explodes just throughout the last third of the movie. Very well done. I love that movie. Got some comedic bits in it too.
When westerns are done well, they are amazing films. I just think that people when they were making them for a while just didn't really take them seriously. They want them to be more actiony. I'm like, no, westerns are supposed to be very story and character driven. It's not just the gunfights have to be big, but you have to show what leads up to the gunfights too. You can't just show the shootout at the OK Corral, for example, without knowing the backstory behind the Clampets and the Earps and all that. You have to understand why to make those gunfights meaningful. And when westerns do stuff like that, when they get really deep into the story, like Lonesome Dove did, they're very, very good. Again, it's been a while since they've made a truly great western. But Ghost 3600 said he's always loved Secondhand Lions. I too as well. Said he may have been in a bad movie, but he was never bad in a movie that I've seen. Yeah, there's a lot of he sometimes you like a movie because one actor does really, really well. The movie itself is mid at best, but there's performances in there that just blow your mind. I mean, one of my obvious ones is The Godfather. I mean, come on. This is in the argument as as maybe the greatest movie ever made. I mean,
I would say one of.
Obviously, there's an argument to be made. I mean, you can make an argument for a couple of movies. Godfather is one of the ones that, whenever somebody tries to make the argument for The Godfather, you just kind of like, I don't know how I can tell you there's a better one, but yeah, it's here. And this is the one movie that he was in that I thought he was kind of against type a little bit. He's a mob lawyer. He's kind of a bad guy, but not so much. He's part of
that calm voice of reason, though. He was kind of like that rock that really kind of kept them like, hey, look, here's what we're dealing with. Here's how we handle it, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Where James Caan's going off, he's always wanting to fucking fight with somebody or some shit, and but he's always like, hey, look, guys, look what happened. Like when Vito gets fucking shot, he's like, look, okay, if we lose the old man, we got to do this. This happens. And he was always that solid rock to the family,
Yeah, he just there, such tremendous range throughout most of his career that he could do the comedy, like he did Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell. He could do that. He could do like the dramatic stuff, like Tender Mercy, the one that got him his Oscar nomination. He could do that stuff. He could do serious. He even could do a little bit of action. I mean, I would consider Days of Thunder kind of an action movie. I mean, he's not the action star at all. I mean, obviously you have Tom Cruise to handle the action shit, but it's like, but even an action movie that is probably going to be where some of the performances are going to be drowned out by some of the visuals, he still gives a performance that is damn good. I mean, it's like I was watching, it was a couple of months ago, I was watching Days of Thunder because it was on. It popped up on one of the streamers and I was watching it while I was doing something else. But I got caught by that scene where he's standing in front of the frame of the car and he's talking to it. And I was just like, there's something about that scene that makes everything that's happening here very personal. When you're like, when you're sitting there talking to this inanimate object because there's something you're going to build, you're going to create something great, something that goes 200 miles an hour, something that has to protect a fragile human being while if it hits a wall doing insane speeds or flips over 27 times, or if you catch even a little bit of a breeze the wrong way, you have to protect the guy that's in the car. And he's sitting there talking to this thing like the real living thing. And that was a very personal moment for a guy who, I mean, that's for the character anyway, at that stage in his life has had his own hardships, has had his own ups and downs. And he's not just trying to talk to this car and say, hey, I need you to work with me. He's trying to even psych himself back up a little bit in that moment to try to get back onto the track and do the stuff that he had been avoiding doing since a tragic accident prior to the film. So it just, even those moments, I was like, God, he's just so damn good. Yeah, Dr. Nick coming in saying hi. What's up, Dr. Nick?
Hey.
What's going on, brother? We are. I was talking about the career of Robert Duvall, great actor who we lost just recently. I don't know, Jeremy. Give me another one. Give me another movie you want to talk about, and we'll just kind of banter on about him for a little while.
Well, I don't want to say Falling Down because we've already reviewed that. I mean, Lord, what else do we have? Get back to my buttons here. Do you want to talk about Apocalypse Now?
Yeah, we could. I mean, it's a classic war movie. I mean, it's a
hell of a movie. Jesus, the production on that movie.
It's equal parts spectacle. It's equal parts great acting, great writing. I mean, that really is. I don't know that I put it up there with The Godfather quite so much.
No, not quite.
And it's if there is a really, really close second tier, then damn it, I think it probably goes there. I mean, because for one, it's a fantastic war movie on its own. And I love war movies anyway. War movies are great, but I mean, the characters are so amazing. the like that scene of the helicopters flying in against the setting sun. How many times has that been used by other movies just for dramatic effect? We've seen it in Star Wars. We've seen it in comedy movies. They've tried to use it to kind of set up comedic bits. But every time you see it, because I remember when they did it in Force Awakens. I think it was Force Awakens. When they did it where they had some of the X-Wing fighters flying in. It's like for a minute I was hearing like Fortunate Son playing in the back of my head, and I'm expecting somebody to be like, "I love the smell of napalm in the morning," as the Imperial assholes are laying waste to the rebels. But dude, it's like just that shot alone is a special piece of history, of film history. I mean, that's the kind of thing you put on a poster and you just stare at it because it's amazing cinematography. But I mean, his character in it, I mean, honestly, everybody's character, that movie is just stacked with actors that were already good and actors that were going to become good at some point. Let me pull it up here so we can
Brando, fucking
Apocalypse Now, 1979. Brando, Robert Duvall, Martin Sheen, Frederick Forrest, Albert Hall, Sam Bottoms, young Larry Fishburne, Dennis Hopper. I mean, it's like, I mean, Harrison Ford's in it. Scott Glenn's in it. Good God. Bill Graham is in it. Jesus Christ. Coppola actually had an uncredited cameo in it.
Oh, nice.
And the cinematographer, the great cinematographer, Vito Storado, he actually plays the cameraman that is by Coppola's side of that movie. So you have the director and the cinematographer in it as well.
That's funny.
But I mean, dude, just seriously, just loaded with great people.
Yeah. Like you said, it's a visual spectacle. That movie's we do war movies like that, especially one about Vietnam. It's like there is something like it's that weird. Now we say like dark humor. Like there's something darkly beautiful about that movie. The way, like, when you're seeing just napalm wipe across like a fucking, the forest, shit, like, like you said with the helicopters, that iconic against the sunset and shit. Dear God. And like I said, I've heard, and some of it may have been embellished, but like some of the stories of like how they even got that movie made is kind of insane. Isn't that also the one where Martin Sheen like broke his fucking hand on the glass? He punched the mirror or some shit, and he actually cut his hand open. And he just kept fucking rolling with it. When he was in his hotel.
I think so. Yeah, I think I read something about that. Yeah.
Yeah, like he got really drunk and was just trying to do the scene and like punch the fucking glass mirror and cut his hand open real bad. Like, and in the shot, he's like, still, because you're also drunk, you're bleeding even worse than you should be, and it's just him unraveling. It's like, oh, good God, man. It's even that, you got Brando in it too. I mean, a lot of people, however you feel about him, whatever. But I'll never forget. I'll never let that go that you read your fucking lines on the little Superman baby's diaper. I'm like, dude, you couldn't memorize like 4 lines, really? I'll go son of Krypton and help Earth by. We're all gonna die. You couldn't memorize that. I mean, I wish I had that picture actually of Duvall, like when they're doing they got like the sandwich board signs, like with his fucking lines on it. He's standing like in costume, in character, but like standing off screen, like with Brando's lines on it. I'm like, dude, can't you just learn the damn lines? It breaks my immersion a little bit for The Godfather, but I'm like, whatever. It's still a good movie.
Yeah, I'm really mad that I couldn't find a good picture. I actually found one that I put on the thumb. If you look in the left where he's putting the stethoscope in his ears. You've seen the television show MASH, I'm sure. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie MASH. He actually plays Frank Burns in the film MASH from 1970.
Oh, that's wild. I actually don't know if I've seen the movie. I've seen the show.
The movie is very different from the TV show. The TV show is more of a straight up comedy. This is a very dark humor, kind of a little more honest telling. It's not nearly as comedic. It's got funny moments, like Hawkeye and Trapper are still goofballs that do stupid shit that make you laugh.
Yeah.
But it does lean in a lot more of it does hit you in the face a lot harder with the terrible things about war and how it can affect people and all that. But make no mistake, it's a fucking phenomenal film. It's an amazing movie.
I'm gonna check that out. I'm surprised I've never actually watched the movie. Like I said, I've seen the show quite often. It's my mom's favorite show, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I watch the show regularly. I watch an episode a day, probably just as background noise or something I watch.
Yeah, it's like if it's on, you'll watch it. Like it's one of those things. Yeah,
I have my block of like 3 or 4 episodes from like every season where it's like I'll go there and I'll just watch for like an hour, like all these episodes. But yeah, he's also great in that. He's only really about the first half of the film, and ironically, his character suffers similar fate to what the character eventually kind of suffers in the TV show. But another movie, and I'll go to this movie because it is. I gush about this movie constantly. I think it is the film that I think defines his career, his approach towards acting, and that's the movie The Apostle. You see there with, again, another very stacked cast of people, and right there with the very young Walton Goggins before he marries the crazy lady and becomes a ghoul after getting radiated.
Yeah,
but
a little show called Fallout.
Yeah, and that, like I said, that is a phenomenal film. I cannot gush over that movie enough. So let me try to pull it up so I can get some more details about it. Jesus Christ, I was just looking right at it a second ago. There it is right there. The film from 1997, independent Southern Gothic drama film. I don't know about Gothic. I don't know why they put that in there. Written, directed, starring Robert Duvall. Also has Farrah Fawcett, Walton Goggins, Billy Bob Thornton, June Carter Cash, Miranda Richardson, Billy Joe Shaver. Again, just loaded with a bunch of great actors. And in this film, he plays a preacher who of a Pentecostal church, not a mega church, but certainly one of those churches that that is big in the area. It's, when you're in some of these areas of these off the way areas of Texas or Louisiana or something like that.
Church, big gathering.
Church is the big gathering every week. But and he has this one moment where his life kind of goes sideways, and he spends the entire movie trying to get right with himself, get right with God, trying to figure out, try to make proper amends on earth before the law can catch up to him and have him, pay his toll to society. But I mean, dude, again, so he finds his way into this town where they haven't had a church in years, and he throws away his driver's license, everything. He walks into town, and people say, "What's your name?" He goes, "I'm EF." That's all anybody ever knows him as. Through the whole movie is EF. He won't tell them anything else about his past, his name, anything. And he builds a church with them from the ground up and rebuilds this community that is just kind of lethargic and doesn't seem to have any real direction or sense of self. And by the end of the movie, obviously the law catches up to him, but he has built this community back up, and he has paid at least his earthly penance for what he's done. But dude, again, no special effects, no nothing. Writing, performances, from start to finish is a great movie. And I've said it to you a bunch of times. If the 90s gave us anything, it's great independent filmmaking. This is an independent film that he did all on his own. He fronted every dollar of this money out of his own pocket. Did not go to anybody else, did not go to some big production company and say, "Give me some money to make this thing." He funded it all himself, made this movie from scratch himself. And like I said, got nominated for an Oscar out of it and had great performances from so many people.
That's awesome.
Like I said, June Carter, Cash, Miranda Richardson, Billy Bob Thornton. Who else is in it? Walton Goggins. Dude, Walton Goggins is young in this too. Let me go to his real quick. Get his filmography and see exactly where this was for him. Yeah, he was in 97. So he was in Mr. Saturday Night in 1992, uncredited. He was in Forever Young, where he was a really small role, but he's credited. He was in The Next Karate Kid that nobody watched. So I'm not surprised I remember that one. And then he was in The Apostle, which is a fantastic movie. Then he was in Major League, Back to the Minors. I do remember him in that. And then it obviously goes up from there. Shanghai Noon. He was in The Crow Salvation. He was in Joyride, Born Identity, House of a Thousand Corpses, and then on, into his career from there, making all the cool stuff that he made. But I'm curious as to what TV he did. Heat of the Night, Beverly Hills 90210. Damn, that's going back.
Wow.
Heat of the Night back in 80. Well, he did 4 episodes of In the Heat of the Night between 89 and 92. Let's see, All Fly Away, Queen. He was in Jag. It was one of my dad's favorite shows. Let's see, The Sentinel. I remember that show. I never watched it. NYPD Blue. He was in an episode. He was in The Shield. I remember him being in The Shield. I didn't watch The Shield all the time, but I watched a few. Let's see. He was in 6 episodes of Sons of Anarchy. I do not remember that. And then of course Vice Principals. He's done some voice work in The American Dad. That one episode of Big Bang Theory, which is kind of funny. The Righteous Gemstones. That's one of the funniest fucking TV shows that's been made in the last 20 years. If you haven't watched that, you're missing out bad.
You build that one up a lot to me. Yeah.
That show is hilarious, especially if you're like me and you grew up with the televangelists and all the chaos of the Jim and Tammy Faye as it was happening, and Jerry Falwell, prostitutes and stuff like that. All that was happening when I was growing up, so it's like, to me, it touches a nerve because it's got a bit of nostalgia, but it's just also hilarious. Yeah, I was there, man. Yeah, I was there, man. You weren't there. I was there, but
I wasn't there actually.
It's got John Goodman, who was fantastic in it. Nice. Walton Goggins as his late wife's brother, who was kind of a fuck up, and then obviously his 3 kids kind of carry the show mostly. But it's funnier now. But if you are a big fan of religion, maybe you don't want to watch it too much. But if you have a sense of humor, then it's definitely your show because it makes up for it makes up for the lack of respect for their religious.
I was gonna say
establishment by being absolutely hilarious. But
I like religion and a sense of humor. Trust me, I'll like it.
But I'll talk about another one now. Again, I can't gush over this movie enough. Is Secondhand Lions. It is hilarious. It's funny. It's heartfelt. It's adventurous. It's got a little bit of everything in this movie, and I don't understand why people don't talk about this movie more. It was big when it came out, and then it flamed out and never. It's just not mentioned amongst some of his best films, and I don't understand why. It is an absolute masterpiece, and it was when Haley Joel Osment was he had already seen The Dead People, he'd already done some stuff like that. So his star was already huge, and it's like. And I feel like the movie was supposed to be about Haley Joel Osment, but it really isn't. He is a part player in the crazy story of his two insane uncles who were fighting, oil barons in the Middle East back in the 1920s and swashbuckling their way through all kinds of crazy adventures that you don't have any clue, or you don't know if this guy's lying to you or not, but they're telling you these stories and you're seeing them play out in flashbacks on the screen. It really is like watching clips of an Indiana Jones adventure. It's one of the funnest movies I've ever watched. I don't know if you've seen it or not, Jeremy, but I was talking to you about it. I was talking to you about it before we went live. It's got goofy parts. It's got a lot of great heart and comedy. But like I said, you have these moments of it where it's like you're in some of the best parts of an Indiana Jones film. It really does have a lot. Then like the relationship between Haley Joel Osment and his mom, the relationship that you get to watch grow between Haley Joel Osment and his two crazy uncles. And the movie kind of starts at the end. But but as you go back through it all and it tells you the story, and then you get at the end of the movie, you get back to that moment at the beginning of the film. You're like, oh, this is why after he's grown up, he's gone back to his uncle's farm because he built some insane memories, and you get to watch those memories play out over the course of the movie. It's a fun movie. It is a must watch for Robert Duvall films, in my opinion. But another one I'll bring up because it's gotten kind of lost. It was 80s. It got kind of lost in a lot of movies. There was a movie he did called Colors back in 87, I think. And young Sean Penn, his career was really catching on right about this time. So it was like 87, 88, somewhere around there. He plays a rookie LAPD cop who joins the gang unit, and Robert Duvall plays the seasoned officer who kind of runs it all. And there is, I wanted to get the clip of it to play here, but I didn't want to run the risk of running afoul of YouTube and their bullshit. But Robert Duvall tells him a story, and I invite you all to go to YouTube and put Robert Duvall bull fucking story colors and find this clip. It's cool because you get to watch an older seasoned Robert Duvall take this young, very rough around the edges Sean Penn character and teach him about everything they're doing here, why they do it, how to be patient and everything. That's where the bull story comes into effect. But it's very interesting to watch all that happen. It was interesting to me because I grew up in California when all this stuff was going on. I still have friends that are involved in stuff like that out west. So I have a little bit of a cerebral connection to it all. But it seems a little dated now, but man, that movie still holds up as far as content is concerned. It's just so damn good. And in that movie, let me pull up the cast for that movie too. I mean, let me see here. Oh, yeah, Robert Duvall, color. Where's it at? I just saw it a minute ago. Where'd it go? It's in here somewhere. But there's a long list of great. Swear to God, I just saw it. Let's see, mid-career. Is it in there? Oh, he was also in THX 1138, which is the first big thing that George Lucas did.
I was gonna say, wait a goddamn minute, I know.
Which I did not know until I read that just a little bit ago. But let's see. I'm gonna find colors because I want to talk about the Tess Harper, Lonesome Dove. Where the hell is that? There it is. 1988. I was only a year off. But I mean, Sean Penn, Robert Duvall, Maria Conchita Alonso, cast. Let's see, Don Cheadle. Let's see, young Don Cheadle, young Damon Wayans playing gangbangers. And Damon Wayans looks like he's 12 years old in this movie. I swear to God, I remember.
I was gonna say,
yeah, they were young. I mean, Courtney Gaines, Mario Lopez, Cy Richardson. I mean, just wow, another. Like I said, a lot of these guys were guys that would go on to become big. Glenn Plummer, the one guy who stands out to me because I actually heard this song again in like an 80s playlist a long time ago. Gerardo Mejia, who did that song. The fuck is it? Rico Suave. I don't know if you remember that song from the 80s
Wow.
or not. Yeah, he was in it. He plays one of the gangbangers in the movie. But I swear to God, I heard that song in an 80s playlist a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, wow, talk about getting sitting back in time. I don't think I had heard that song since probably the early 90s. But Trinidad Silva, who was that movie that we did, the Weird Al Yankovic movie, UHF. The guy who played the guy in the apartment with all the pets, he actually died right before the movie came out. He plays one of the gangsters in this movie as well. But there's so many great actors in this. But yeah, that movie was very, very good as well. It's gotten kind of lost over the years, I think, which is kind of unfortunate. Like I said, go watch the whole movie. It's good, but I mean, if nothing else, go watch the scene about him explaining to Sean Penn about bulls fucking. It's a lesson in patience, because this is what he's trying to teach when he tells us. It's not about bulls fucking, but he tells a story about a conversation between a daddy bull and a son bull, and the son is wanting to just do go, and the dad's trying to explain to him, hey, patience, take your time, everything's got to be deliberate. That was the point of the story, and the way he explains it is hilarious. Until you stop laughing, you think about his words, you're like, oh, wait a minute, that kind of, now that's hitting the spot of the brain that I had to get to the funny part first to get to the sensible part where I'm actually hearing the words. But they're just sitting in the car, and he's just trying to slow this guy down and say, hey man, just be deliberate in all your movements. Make sure you play chess, not checkers, that kind of thing. But just a fantastic movie that I couldn't. Again, like I said, it's an 80s movie that I love, but it's just fantastic. I do have this article here. What do you think? Go ahead.
I was looking at the movie. It's free on Tubi, free on Pluto, free on Amazon. Oh shit, I might have something else to watch this weekend.
Yeah, Colors is a good movie. I mean, like I said, I knew a lot of people like that when I was young, so I mean, it hits different for me. But it's a good cop movie. It's a good crime movie in and of itself. But like I said, that when they're sitting in the car and he's talking about the bull, I could tell you exactly what he says in about. It's not a very long conversation. It takes about 15 seconds. And you're going to laugh your ass off when he says it. But when you stop laughing, you're going to be like, there was the lesson there. And I'm starting to get it. BJ says one of her favorite movies is Man. I love that movie. I love that movie. Yes, and the TV show as well. The TV show. I have watched that TV show from episode 1 to the final episode. No joke, probably about 15 or 20 times.
Oh yeah.
That West Wing, Night Court. Those are my comfort shows. But yeah, the movie is something very, very special. Also, the great Sally Kellerman plays Hot Lips Houlihan in that. She was fantastic.
Nice.
But yeah, it's a fantastic.
I'm at least glad I got to meet the one from the show before she passed. That was cool.
Loretta Swit. Oh God, I would love to have met
Loretta Swit.
Her. Oh yeah,
like fantastic. I said, I do still get a little nervous. I get starstruck sometimes. Obviously, when I go to cons, I meet actors, and I'm like, at that point, like, yeah, I'd been to some. I've kind of gotten better about it. Sometimes I'm just cool with them. I'm like, I'll just talk to you like a person. But I'm just telling you, when like she put her arm around me, I mean, I just lost I got giddy as shit. I was like, oh my God. Hey, I think I said hi. I managed to say hi at least. She was sweet. She was a very sweet lady.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah. But damn it. And fucking Major Hot Lips putting her arm around me, and I was like, this is a good day. And again, I got a fist bump from Klinger. So it was a good day.
You got to meet Hot Lips Houlihan and Maxwell Klinger. One of these days, if I ever get a chance to meet Terry Farr, I have to ask him, like, did you keep any of the dresses? You had to have kept one. Tell me you kept one. I was watching My So-Called Gen X Life, was a channel that I really enjoy watching. And she actually interviewed Corin Nemec from Parker Lewis, you know what I'm talking about. And I had sent in a question. I was like, is there a shirt you kept? Please tell me you kept at least a couple of shirts. And he said, no, I didn't keep any of the shirts. I was like, missed opportunity, man. Come on. I would 100% rock one of the old school, like, crazy design, early 90s button up Parker Lewis shirts. I would rock that every day. I would wear that everywhere I went without shame at all. But I do have here. Good.
I've thought about. I've thought about going as Corporal Klinger to a Comic-Con at least once. I think it'd be funny as hell. I've got access to like a prop M1. I've actually got a little green like M1 helmet. I just got to find a nice dress. I might get like at least the olive green jacket and like put Corporal Klinger on there or whatever, just so they really know. They don't think I'm like that fucking out there and I'm weird. Like some people may not get it, but the ones who do, like you're real.
Anybody who knows who Jamie Farr is gonna get the joke. They're gonna understand. But
I mean, like when I went as the Blues Brothers, there was a little Ghostbusters setup, and this woman who did a fantastic cosplay of Gozer when in the human form, the lady walked up to me because remember I'm Dan Aykroyd, right? And she asked me like, "Hey, you guys want to you want a mission?" And I was like, "We're on a mission from God." And I was like. And then she asked me, like, are you a god? I was like, I think you're confusing me with someone else who kind of looks like me. Like, we got it. I knew what she was going for. I'm like, wrong guy. But same actor. You're on it.
We're getting there. But I do have this article from MSN about the 10 greatest Robert Duvall movies. I've already skimmed over this list. These lists is not ranked. It's just a list of 10 movies that they say are the greatest. And I'm only going to disagree with really one of these. I'll get to that when I get to it. One of them is True Grit, 1969, John Wayne, the John Wayne version from 1969.
That's right.
God, if you think for a minute about some of the people that he worked with,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you're like, here's Robert Duvall, but then like, here's this like laundry list of actors that like you all know by name. Like, holy crap!
Yeah, talk about cutting your teeth amongst some of the greats. I mean, learning from these guys. John Wayne, Gregory Peck for the little bit that he was even in, To Kill a Mockingbird. You're on set with Gregory Peck, who is a legend. Just so many. Brando and The Godfather, Pacino and De Niro and The Godfather. Just so many.
Brando,
yeah. I mean, that first movie, right? The second movie with De Niro in it. I mean, that right there has got probably about, not including the Godfather Oscars that it got, probably has about 14 or 15 other Oscars associated to those names. It's insane. But the first one was True Grit, the original with John Wayne, not the newer one, which was a very good movie. The Coen Brothers was a good movie, but it was not the same as the John Wayne movie. I agree. My dad was a big John Wayne fan. I've seen that movie more than once. It's a great movie. But again, that was when Westerns were made very, very well. They took the storytelling seriously. And John Wayne as Rooster Cogburn was fantastic. And then obviously he's working across with somebody who kind of makes you better when you're working across from John Wayne. So Network, honestly, God, I don't think I've seen Network since probably the 80s.
I'm surprised you didn't say it. I'm sorry, you didn't say his name right. Duke fucking Wayne.
The Duke fucking Wayne. That really should be our thing whenever we talk about John Wayne from now on. They've been messing around with this John Wayne biopic for like 15 years in Hollywood. I keep every now and again I'll read something about it.
Oh man!
But if they ever get this made, that's how we're going to lead into reviewing that movie. Is Duke fucking Wayne.
Duke fucking Wayne.
But I really need to get that cut. I really need to get that cut for our little quick cuts.
God,
I really need to do that.
Hey, St. Patrick's Day is coming up, and that's again one of my yearly watches. I watch the New Saints, so it's coming.
But yeah, Network from 1976. God, I swear I haven't seen this movie since probably the 80s. It's been a long, long time. It says that Duvall plays Network executive Frank Hackett. And even director Sidney Lumet claimed that he had been genuinely surprised at how funny the actor was. Overall, the movie never drifts aimlessly from plot to plot. The rest of the actors never struggle. Every disgruntled character appears to feel the organization's ills far too keenly. Their existential cries remain grave, yet they never stop flirting with silliness. Again, Network's another one of those movies. A great cast, though.
Mm-hmm.
The Great Santini, which is a lot of people think this is maybe Robert Duvall's best movie, is The Great Santini. I don't think that I've ever seen it, to be honest. I feel bad now.
I can't say that.
But Robert Duvall stole the picture and earned a Best Actor nomination for his portrayal of British Lieutenant Colonel Wilbur Bull Meacham, a Marine pilot who is too tough on his basketball-loving son, Ben, played by Michael O'Keefe. The dad is loath to acknowledge any of his wrongdoing, so conflict emerges as The Great Santini covers themes of parenthood, racism, and mental health. I have not seen this movie, but I feel like I'm going to have to now because, obviously we need to enjoy the works of this great actor, and especially one that got him an Oscar nomination, for Christ's sake.
Right.
See, the next one is Sling Blade, who I forgot he was in Sling Blade. I haven't seen that movie in so long. It blew right past me. Let's see. Several months into Sling Blade, moments in Sling Blade will send shivers down your spine, it says, but it wasn't made with the intention of upsetting anyone. It's a wonderful parable of good and evil with a plot that's poetic and moving. I agree. It's a good movie. If you are looking for a truly great film about mental health, this is a good choice. Duvall isn't in it for as long as his fans would have liked, but his scenes highlighting failed parenthood are powerful and memorable. Well, yeah, because he's good.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding.
The next one they have on here, and then of course you can forget biscuits and mustard. I don't know if you watch a lot of Rogan, but a couple of months ago, Billy Bob Thornton was on Rogan's podcast, and he kind of jokes about how that was just like his entire persona forever until finally people stopped asking him every day to do the Sling Blade voice. He said some people still do, and he does it, but whatever. The next one they talk about, I mean, dude, look, if you're lucky enough to have one of those roles or moments, it's like the kid that played Urkel. It's like, for years, everybody comes up to me, he's like, "Say it, did I do that?" Well, if that's what you become, that's where your story really starts as an actor. Then whatever, you may as well go with it. Rambling Rose from '91. I don't think I've seen this one. Duvall might not have been recognized by the big award organizations, but he also does a great job bringing his trademark poise and assured line delivery. Yes, he's a great line deliverer. Overall, this is a sumptuous treat that exhibits artful restraint in the telling. It evokes the hard price of hospitality and the frayed nerves of those who choose to take on greater burdens than they can carry. Better yet, the cast is thin enough to prevent you from getting lost in a crowd. So basically, that means he just carries the movie.
That's pretty Jurassic Park Laura Dern too. 91. Shit.
Yeah.
Man. All right.
I had to find that one too. I've heard of that movie. I just haven't watched it yet. The next one they have is Apocalypse Now. We've already talked about it. That's one of the classic films.
Napalm in the morning.
Yeah. Duvall's remark in Apocalypse Now is regarded as one of the greatest quotes in film history. Yeah, we said that already. His character, Lieutenant Colonel William Bill Kilgore, is the commander of the 1st Cavalry Division, but the movie's main plot revolves around a mission to assassinate Colonel Kurtz, played by Marlon Brando, a special forces officer who has gone rogue in Vietnam. Despite being one of the movies with the most chaotic production processes, yes, they've made several documentaries about making that movie. Apocalypse Now is a masterpiece featuring endless, neatly shot scenes. That's a nice way of saying neatly shot scenes. How about cinematography mastery that jolt audiences into a state of wonder? The cinematography is sure something. Presage yet to come visuals. No one has a lazy day, and Duvall deserves extra praise for going out of his way to consult military figures on how to portray a tough, unflinching officer. He actually did serve himself, actually. Let me see. What did he... Where did he serve? He served in Korea. Let's see. Let me go find it real quick. I want to make sure.
Right era. Yeah.
I want to make sure I get this right. It says his father had expected him to attend the U.S. Naval Academy. His father was a naval officer. But Duvall recalled, "I was terrible at everything but acting. I could barely get through school." He instead served the United States Army after the Korean War from August 53 to August of 54, leaving as a private first class. Quote, "That led to some confusion in the press," he explained in 1984. "Some stories have me shooting it out with the commies from the foxhole over in Frozen Chosen, Pork Chop Hill kind of stuff." He said, "Hell, I barely qualified with the M1 rifle in basic training."
Oh, no. That's kind of ironic that he was also then in MASH, which is about the Korean War. That's kind of funny.
Yeah. But
that's
yeah.
Awesome.
But I respect him for not trying to ride that fame, just like not denying it, but not confirming it either. But just saying,
like, guys, the story's a little embellished. So it's not all that.
Yeah,
that's fine.
And then it goes on to mention the Apostle. I've talked about that already. Duvall's own passion project. He wrote, directed, starred, even put his own money. Here he is, a charismatic Pentecostal preacher whose megachurch dreams seem untenable because of his drinking. When he fatally assaults his estranged wife's new lover, he flees and ends up in Louisiana, where he settles and becomes a beloved preacher. That's until the cops show up. Oscar nominated for Best Actor, Duvall manages to convey empathy, feebleness, and high sleaze factor without necessarily appearing outright evil. You see, because I think the whole point of that movie is because the whole point of his character, it's like he's struggling. He's kind of lost his way a little bit, but then he has that moment where he does something really dumb, and that's what kind of like jars him back down the right path. And then he spends the entire
lot
movie
of fire
trying
in
to
your
make
ass.
things right. But it makes more sense when you watch the movie. The rest of the cast is beguiling, fearless, and precocious, depending on where your eyes are looking. What you'll love most is how the movie uses interwoven thoughts of various characters to highlight the preacher's state of mind and manages to present a forthright portrayal of religion. Yeah, it managed to talk about religion without being so obtuse. Godfather Part 2. Yeah, Godfather Part 2, obviously. Duvall, Tom Hagen returns just as we knew him. He's the Corleone crime family's consigliere. He sure does a good job of keeping things in order this time. This time, audiences get to see Michael Corleone grow the empire. A parallel plot involves flashback scenes at the time Michael's father, Vito, played by Robert De Niro, was learning the trade. Yeah, Godfather, come on. If you've seen this movie, you know what we're talking about. To Kill a Mockingbird. Again, not a first thing he ever did, not a whole lot of screen time, but an important character. It's never too late to start, believe it or not. To Kill a Mockingbird marked Robert Duvall's first ever big screen appearance at the age of 31. I didn't realize he was that old. The film is about a lawyer defending a black man who has been falsely accused of rape, and Duvall plays a reclusive man who gets the opportunity to save children from a violent and racist drunkard. One of the finest legal dramas to deal with the cost of racism. This tense, heartfelt adaptation of Harper Lee's 1960 Pulitzer Prize-winning novel, it's a good book, by the way, is tailor-made for the steady, ever-patient Duvall. Thumbs up should also be waved at director Robert Mulligan, who is adept at capturing the turmoil that plagues both the accused and the young characters in the face of impending horror. Beyond that, cinematography highlighting the best and worst Depression-era Alabama is something to behold. Yeah, that's. I've got the 50th anniversary edition on DVD of that. That's a movie that is just mind-bogglingly good. Yeah, I can never not watch that movie enough. Now, here's where I'm going to differ a little bit. Here's where I'm going to shit on this list just a little bit. It has on here as the last one, The Godfather. I'm not saying this movie doesn't need to be on there. It's a great film. It's maybe one of the greatest films ever made. But why have The Godfather and The Godfather 2 on there at the same time? I suggest removing The Godfather 2, or The Godfather 2, because The Godfather 1 to me is, as much as I like The Godfather 2, The Godfather 1 is the better film. I would suggest,
because they are kind of different movies.
They are, that's true, but they are different but the same. It's hard to say they're that different when one's a sequel.
They're both very, very good. I would sometimes argue part 2 is the better one, but I mean, like, I'm saying, like The Godfather, the first one, still phenomenal. Like, I'm not trying to say that one's superior, but I'm like, man, God, they're up there. Like I said, while I like the first one, I'm like, yeah, but then seeing Michael as Don Corleone, like doing his thing now after that Vito is, since passed. God damn. See, I love how we're not talking about 3 though. No one talks about 3 because we don't talk about that one.
We don't talk about 3.
I know. Just like it says, every time I think I got away, they pull me back in. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yep.
It's in there.
I would say that we should take out. I think we should take out Godfather 2 of this list if this is going to be a top 10 and put in either Secondhand Lions or.
I see. Okay.
I would say Secondhand Lions should go in there. I think.
Okay.
I feel like that's how I would do it.
Just put like his character of Tom Hagen in the Godfather like series. You can just it's not like it's two different. It's the same guy, the same, like we said. You see him kind of still being that same, cool character, the lawyer to the family. You can just kind of lump those two together and say just him in the Godfather series, whatever. Yeah, and you could add something else in there like Secondhand Lions or fucking I don't know.
I feel like we should review that.
What?
We should obviously Tuesday we're going to do Scream, but that's something we've been looking forward to for a long time. But I feel like we should review Secondhand Lions sometime soon. Because like I said, I sit here and I look through his list of movies. I'm like, good God, I can do all these. It's like I would like to do MASH at some point just because it's a good movie, and it's Donald Sutherland. It just dude, let me read you the cast here: Sutherland, Elliot Gould, Tom Skerritt, Sally Kellerman, Duvall, Roger Bowen, Rene Auberjonois, who played Deep Space Nine. He was the security guy, the shapeshifter. Michael Murphy. It also had. Also, you may not know the guy that played Radar O'Reilly in the TV show also played Radar O'Reilly in the film. He is the only person to play the same role from the film to the TV show, but he is not the only person to appear in both the film and the TV show. But still,
but the same consistent character,
yeah. But
that was cool.
But yeah, that's also one of the great movie posters as well. I got to be honest.
The peace sign with the legs.
With the legs. Oh yeah, that's one of the great movie posters. But yeah, I feel like we should do Secondhand Lions pretty soon. So after Scream, maybe we'll do that. My plans for the big collaboration that I want to do, I'm going to have to put off for a while because I can go into exactly what it was some other time, but it's like it was going to be very horror centric, and there were horror people that I very much wanted to have involved in this that I couldn't quite get to. But yeah, the Duke and Matt Dillon, Iron Jeremy's dad's favorites. Oh yeah. My dad was a huge John Wayne fan. He had every movie on VHS. And over the years, he was trying to get them all on DVD. And then as he was getting to that point, that's when streaming became the big thing. He was just like, "Damn it, stop making one of these different platforms. I have to buy them." I was like, "Well, you got them. You're fine." But yeah, I've got a few of my dad's John Wayne DVDs. The Quiet Man, great movie. I was always a big fan of the Hellfighters. You guys probably know that one if you're John Wayne fans, where he was fighting the oil well fires. I've always thought that was a good movie. But let's go ahead and wrap things up there. Jay, give me some final thoughts on the life and career of Robert Duvall.
Well, like I said, it'd be tough to try to put something, like I said, as storied of a career, as lengthy of a career that this guy had in just a couple words. But man, like I said, we'd said earlier, even if you think it was maybe a lesser known movie or maybe a bad movie, so to speak, it's like he was not bad in it. And anything he did do, he was a great character actor. Like you said, he knew how to deliver dialogue. He could be genuine. He could be funny. He could do action. One of the greats. And I keep thinking of this same line from my favorite movie, his of Open Range. When they're watching him in the beginning of the movie, when they're watching him bring the horses back, and he says, "Yeah, the old boss sure can cowboy, can he?" And then Kevin Costner says, "Yep, they broke the mold after him." I'm like, "Yeah, you know what I mean? Don't make people like that anymore." Like you said, he put in the damn work, and it shows.
I'm trying to remember the Civil War one that he was in. It was like a big epic thing.
Yeah.
I think I watched it once. I'm trying to remember what the hell the name of it is. Godfather versus God. He also did a lot of voiceover work for video games and stuff. The Godfather video game, he actually did the voiceover work for Tom Hagen. So,
well, if you're going to get anybody to do it, yeah.
Gods and Generals, that's what he did. He played General Lee in Gods and Generals in 2003.
Interesting.
Yeah, John Q. The sixth day with Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was in that.
Jesus.
Let's see, Sling Phenomenon with what's his name? Crazy Scientology guy, Travolta. Let's see, Scarlet Letter. Jesus Christ. Yeah, the Scarlet Letter. Wrestling Ernest Hemingway.
Yeah.
Geronimo in American. He played Stalin. I totally forgot about that in the TV movie. He played Stalin. I totally forgot about that.
What the hell?
Days of Thunder. Yeah, Lonesome Dove. Good God. It's like, God, the Wikipedia wasn't even giving me half this shit.
Broken Trail.
Yeah. Grant Santini. The Eagle is Curl Ratty and the Eagle has landed back in 1976, the year they gave us Me. Oh wow, just so much stuff. Yeah, THX 1138. That's the one that blew my mind. I was like, oh wait a minute, he goes that far back? Jesus Christ! But
apparently,
and even farther back than that. I mean, Christ, I'm going to go look at his first credit was 1960, the Robert Heritage Theater.
Okay.
And then Alfred Hitchcock Presents in 62, and then a bunch of stuff in the 60s and 61, small TV stuff. But yeah, I mean,
so that's also
yeah. Just like I said, when things like this happen, when we lose a great actor, go back into their catalog, into their repertoire, and find some performances that are just fantastic, and take a minute to just absorb them, bring them in. I mean, I like movies because of some of these great performances, some of these great actors, and this generation of actors, man, they're going faster than we realize. I mean, honestly, and not even just hold on, recent celebrity.
Oh, don't.
Yes.
Oh no.
I mean, because we just had a couple of them. I mean, let's see, recent deaths, blah blah. Where am I even going on this day? I don't even know if I want to use this website because it looks like it's kind of garbage anyway. Let's see. Celebrity death news people. I mean, we had James Vanderbeek just passed away. Eric Dane just passed away. Let's see. God, this People magazine sucks too. Let's not use that. But yeah, I mean, there's been several in the last like couple of weeks that are pretty mind numbing. Let's see. Isaiah Whitlock died a while back. Yeah, this is probably too old. But yeah, I mean, take this opportunity to go back and to just enjoy some of this work. I mean, even something like Days of Thunder, which is kind of it's one of the typical Bruckheimer action, fast cuts, everything. It's still a good movie. And like I said, that scene where he's talking to the frame of the race car before he starts building it, it was great acting. And again, there's even a little bit of the funny part where they get pulled over for crossing state lines with moonshine, and it turns out that it's not really a state trooper; it's a stripper that they had gotten to kind of mellow out the driver before he goes into his next big race. It's that kind of stuff. I mean, he did every kind of acting very, very well. It was just an absolute pleasure to watch. And entertainment is a lesser place today for him not being in it. It's very unfortunate. But we'll look into some Robert Duvall films to do over the course of the next few weeks. I think there's several out there that we would have a lot of fun watching. But Jeremy, where can the folks at home find you, my friend?
I'm here Tuesday and Thursday, hopefully. So, like I said, life is life, and it's rough. But like I won't go into detail. But like I said, movies are an escape. So maybe I'll do that to take my mind off some stuff. Like I said, we can get into some Scream and, like I said, maybe some more Robert Duvall. So I just checked Secondhand Lions. It is free on Tubi right now. So
I actually have it on DVD. It's one of the many movies I have on DVD. Like I remember buying that on DVD the moment it came out because it's such a fun movie.
So maybe it's the time to watch that too. Like I said, I can look into colors because it's free on like fucking everything apparently. So. Yeah, get in some.
Like I said, if nothing else, look up the scene of the story at the bowl. it's so funny.
Maybe that'll spur me to watch the movie anyway. I'm like, okay, I got to see it now. Now I need the context, like full context.
Yeah, I will be back here. Right now, the plan is Tuesday. We're going to be doing Scream 7. It's been divisive, to say the least, amongst some of the reviews, but I'm going to judge it on its merits. Everybody, I've said it 100 times. It has not been my favorite horror franchise of all of them, but the last couple I thought have been decent. The first Scream I thought was good, was decent. Steady decline after that to me, and then the last couple I think have been a lot better. But so I'm going to watch this one. I'm going to judge it on its merits, see how good it is. Sydney's back, which is good. I think there should always be Sydney around somewhere. But we'll be back to talk about that. Again, also, Wednesday, I'm going to be on with American Werewolf in New Jersey. You can find the link to his channel in the description below. We're going to be talking about Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? He's going through the Coen Brothers movies for a little bit. So I'm going to join him for that one as well. What it plays at Geographical Quality, 2 weeks from everywhere. Love that movie. Again, loaded cast, great writing, great acting. That's all you need to make a great film. But and then Thursday we're going to do something else. I don't know what we're going to do yet, but we will get around to that. Again, there's a couple of Robert Duvall movies I'd like to get to right now since it's on the forefront of everybody's mind, and we are getting into the part of the year where they're going to start releasing movies a little bit hot and heavy now. We got some things coming up this summer. We're getting back into some decent release schedules. We're kind of finally getting out from the mess that COVID made of the release schedule.
If no one has seen it yet, there was a trailer put out, I believe, yesterday for Mortal Kombat 2. Holy crap, I'm excited.
It looks fun.
Oh my good God. Yes, I'm like, this actually looks fun. I mean, I like where the story's going. We're going with Johnny Cage, and of course, Carl Urban playing Johnny Cage is like just. I'm sorry. Should I do The Boys? It was perfect. Down to the last minute detail. I don't watch that show. That's all I know.
I love The Boys. I love The Boys.
Just saying,
last season. I don't
need context. Just Carl Urban as Johnny Cage is just perfect.
I love The Boys. That show is so much goofy fun. Even with the last season, them being very like anti-Trump and super way too political, I just still thought it was funnier than shit. I couldn't take my eyes off it. The last season's gonna be interesting. And Gen V, where the college kids who are doing stuff, that's a really good show as well. But yeah, we will be back here to do all that stuff. Back at it at a regular basis now. We've had our little sabbatical. We've taken our rest. The batteries are recharged. We're going to be here all summer long talking movies. We hope to see you guys here as well. Till next time, my head of life mate Jeremy, thank you, sir, being so awesome as always. We'll see you guys next time. Adios. No, son. We walk down. We fuck them all. That's all I'm going to say. And then the great part about that scene is like when you're done laughing at just the story, it's like you start thinking about it. You're like, oh, wait a minute. There was a lesson in there that he's trying to teach you. It's hilarious. Great stuff. And Robert Duvall saying it makes it even better.
Yeah,
it's just the wisdom, dialogue, delivery. Fantastic. But maybe we'll do that one at some point. Bye, everybody.
Yep.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.